As fresh crisis don't break out in Labour Party again, Peter Obi said he want to fix it like marriage. According to him, husband and wife dey quarrel, but Rufai can't advise am to stay clear from this fight because these people are fighting only for their pockets. Make una watch.
The Nigeria Labour Congress Transition Committee has made bold moves to take over the leadership of the Labour Party by picketing the LP National Secretariat in Abuja. Arise correspondent Chinaza Samuel reports.
The national headquarters of the Labour Party witnessed heavy security presence as the NLC Transition Committee picketed the building. Their demands are simple: that Julius Aburi, the current chairman of the Labour Party, hands over leadership, insisting that his tenure has expired. But attempts by the NLC Transition Committee to take over the party were met with resistance, resulting in chaos. The NLC and the Labour Party have been in a contentious battle over the party's leadership. They are calling for a new national convention to elect new leaders for the party.
The issue at hand, which His Excellency knows very well, is that the tenure of Abure and his working committee, NWC, has ended. Effectively by the 10th of June this month. And you know that there can't be any vacuum in the leadership. Unfortunately, all entreaties, all approaches, including inviting Abure and his people to the even stakeholders meeting, where even it was brokered by INEC that Abure signed and NLC signed that when the time comes, come together to conduct an inclusive and expansive convention. Unfortunately, Abure decided to do without NLC, even after having signed an agreement.
The party's leader, Peter Obi, who was present at the headquarters at the time of the drama, appealed to all to explore the option of achieving their demands through a peaceful approach. He says he's optimistic of resolving the conflict.
We are all members of one family.
Aggrieved member of the family.
Well, we don't know who is aggrieved and who is not. Families disagree. Like I told you before, you do disagree with your wife. I do the same thing. So all of us disagree. These are members of the same family. That's why I came to see them. The meeting today was convened at my instance. And if you were inside that meeting, I preached only one thing, that I have come to start the work of reconciling the family.
The next course of action for the Labour Party remains uncertain as the NLC Transition Committee pushes for immediate action, while the party leadership seeks a more reconciliatory approach. It's clear that the coming days will be crucial in determining the future of the Labour Party. Chinaza Samuel, Arise News.
All right, so the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last presidential elections describes it or says that husband and wife fight. And so this isn't out of the ordinary, but is there more to this than just a squabble or a disagreement that's likened to marital dispute? Rufai?
Unfortunately, I'll tell Mr. Peter Obi this. I'm not sure you can reconcile both parties. And I'm going to be blunt with you. The earlier you realize that, the better it is for you. And the fight is not about you. It's about chop chop. That's just it. That's what bedevils every political party. Go check the trajectory of history for political parties in Nigeria. How they split apart when interests align. Go check what led to the fractionalization of the action group, where the likes of Akintola pulled out of the action groups to go set up their own party. When a party becomes successful, you start to have fragments of interest. And the fragment of interest is deeper than anything. And these fault lines of interest are not big fault lines. It's when my interest and yours align. You can now see that all of a sudden, Abure, that was fighting Nnamdi Papa before, interests have aligned today So they have collapsed. Before, Abure and Obi were together. But today, Lamidi, and they were fighting Lamidi Apapa then. Today, Lamidi Apapa and Abure and my very good friend Arabambi, they are all together today. Interests have aligned. The enemy today is Obi and NLC. That's why we officially call it Labour House of Confusion. Just like Fuji House of Commotion, Labour House of Confusion, it's a likely plantation, Fuji House of Commotion, Labour House of Confusion. So their interests today have aligned. And why did all these interests become this way? Because of the buzz that came to the Labour Party. And all of this is for 2027. Because since the time Obi used this Labour Party ticket to get about 6 million votes, Labour Party presidential ticket is hot cake. And it's going to be a fight to finish to whoever they'll give in 2027. Obviously, you can see it's already a fight to finish across the states. That's why you saw what even the likes of Olumide Akpata is going through in those states. So once a party does well, its bargaining power for tickets on that platform becomes increased. All of this is not about Nigerians. They are fighting for their interests. That's one thing I tell Nigerians about politicians. All of this picketing, all of a sudden, yes, we know the NLC has a big stake in the Labour Party. It was created from them. But all of this is also because the pie is sweeter in the Labour Party today. When the Labour Party was in the doldrums, was the NLC picketing every day? So all of them is an intersection of interests. It has now become Labour House of Commotion. So Obi cannot settle it. You know why Obi cannot settle it? I will take Obi back to before the time he joined Labour. There were cases in court where he joined Labour Party. There were cases that were resurrected as they were indications that he was going to join the Labour Party. And those cases were resurrected because they knew that once he joined the profile of the party was going to go up. So here you go, Nigerian politics. Welcome to Labour House of Commotion. But the thing about these scampering parties, we now look through the evolution of political parties. When they fight, when they decimate like that, then they degrade. Then the so-called thing they were trying to uphold in fighting for, they lose it all in the end. So it becomes a zero-sum game of losses. That will probably be what will happen to the Labour Party.
All right, so I don't know how strong the Labour Party is to withstand the consistent and continuous controversies, infightings that they've been having in recent times. This is not the first time the NLC has directed its members to picket offices of the Labour Party or the headquarters of the Labour Party. Earlier on this year in March, they actually gave a directive, and the reason that was given for that particular one was as a result of what they described as lack of transparency, autonomy, the high-handedness of the current chairman, Julius Abure, and the fact that in their own in their estimation, unilaterally called for a meeting, a national convention, and the exclusion of certain people, including themselves, who have statutory representation on the NEC, NWC, BOT of the Labour Party. Like you rightly, I mean, as you've mentioned or you surmised, Rufai, the Labour Party has become the beautiful bride where there are now many suitors, because, of course, of the outing in the last election. In fact, in the video that we showed you, you'd see Senator Ireti Kingigbe of Abuja Senatorial District there behind Mr. Peter Obi, who was the presidential flag bearer. While he was speaking, one of the videos clips showed her just standing right behind him, and we'd wondered where she'd been in a while. So you would see that now the party is being distracted by all these shenanigans. First, it started with the crisis between, their Papa faction, the factions, Arabambi, and then Julius Abure, and then there were allegations of corruption. Remember, we interviewed members of the parties who had come out to say that the finances of the party was not transparent. That was another crisis. That was another shenanigan that had taken place in the Labour Party. And now it's down to, you're not giving us our place in the party. This is organized labor saying now. And we want to, have a say. We need to be involved. We need to be carried along. We believe that you're not leading right. Your tenure is over. We don't want you to continue. Abure out and the likes. And here and there we see Mr. Peter Obi trying to come in as arbitrator to make all hands, all people come to work together. Because, of course, the strength of any institution or the strength of any group like the Labour Party is in unity. And we've seen that play out in different... That's why we had APC, the formation of APC, PDP, the old PDP, the new PDP. And this is the way of many political parties in Nigeria. The moment, during the days of struggle, everyone is doing it and just fighting for the people, as it were, and building up structures and saying that they are different from what has been, what has already been. And then let a little success come in and then things go a bit mad. And that's why we said as long as it's the same people, Nigerians themselves, who are running these parties, if we don't fix ourselves and political consciousness or why people go into politics in the first place, we will continue to see this cycle play out again and again. As long as we have the same, people who have come from different backgrounds to come into, to form a party, if we don't deal with the fundamental issues of, let's even have parties that have an ideology. What do you stand for? The Labour Party, at least amongst all the parties, seems to stand for, since it started off with the NLC, registered in 2003, with regards to workers' rights, welfarist ideology, and so on. But now it's just going awry. A number of things are going out of place. And like I started off, I don't know how strong the Labour Party is to withstand these many distractions and these many controversies and these many infightings, especially because they've just experienced success. It's important to note that it now seems like even the Obidient movement on which the Labour Party rode in the last elections is separating itself from the Labour Party, saying that they are independent. Yes, they went to work because they felt like he aligned with their views, but they are not aligned with any party, especially the Labour Party, now that so many things are coming up. If the Labour Party would want to experience longevity in the success or to build up on the success it experienced in the last elections, then it must be able to fix its house, put its house in order, and hopefully the intervention of Mr. Peter Obi will come to play. But like you said, I don't know how far that will take, because once money is involved, once interests are involved, it is a free-for-all. I don't know how that's going to work out, but in the best interest of the party, they need to fix and put their house in order.
For watching. Bye.